So now all the first round games are over, and the Los Angeles Lakers, the Portland Trailblazers, the Denver Nuggets, the Dallas Mavericks, the Cleveland Cavaliers, the Atlanta Hawks, the Orlando Magic, and the Boston Celtics have gone on to the second round. So here are my second round predictions. I think the Lakers will beat the Rockets in 5 or 6 games. I'm just going to say 6 to be safe. The Nuggets are going to beat the Mavericks in 6 games. The Cavaliers are going to beat the Hawks in 5 games. And I think the Magic are probably going to be able to beat the Celtics in 7 games. And now, instead of making a whole new video just to give my reasons for my predictions, I'm just going to give all my reasons right now. So, for the Lakers and Rockets series, so obviously there's nobody in the league who can really guard Yao Ming because he's 6 inches taller than every other center in the league. But Andrew Bynum should be a good matchup for him because he plays physical defense, and sometimes that could mess up Yao. And even though the Rockets have players like Ron Artest and Shane Battier who are really good one-on-one defenders, Kobe has still shown to be able to score on them and other players who are good at defense. So I don't think that they're going to be able to mess up Kobe that much, even though they might now that they're on the same team. Then they can give him a different defender to have to deal with each time down the court. The Nuggets and the Mavericks series, that might be an interesting series because the Mavericks are now starting to play a lot better like they were towards the end of the season and now in the postseason because they were able to beat the Spurs. So now they might be able to match the energy of the Nuggets, but I don't think that they're going to be able to beat the Nuggets down low because they have too many good down low players and defenders, the Mavericks, to handle. But I think Dirk Nowitzki is going to prove to be a problem with them because they have guys like Kenyon Martin and Nene to guard him, but they're kind of smaller players, and Dirk Nowitzki's 7 feet, so he might be able to score a lot of points this series. But Chris Anderson, because of his physical play, he might be able to mess up Dirk Nowitzki, because Dirk Nowitzki is more of an outside shooter, and even though he does take it to the basket once in a while, Chris Anderson's going to be able to mess up his shot a lot. So I think that that's going to be an interesting factor in this series. The Cavaliers and the Hawks aren't really going to be that much of a problem for the Cavaliers. That's why I think they're only going to win 1 game, and that's most likely going to be a home game. The Cavaliers, they're definitely going to go on to the Eastern Conference Finals, so there's not much more of a reason that And for the Celtics and Magic series, the Celtics would be doing much better in the playoffs if they had Kevin Garnett. Obviously, they wouldn't have had to go to 7 games against the 7th seed Chicago team just to beat them. So without Kevin Garnett, they don't have a really good defensive stopper down low, which is going to prove to be tough against the likes of Dwight Howard, who is obviously a very dominant player down low. And the Magic have some very good outside shooting players, which could cause problems for the Celtics, because they have players like Rashard Lewis, who's 6'10", and they don't have anybody on the perimeter who can guard a 6'10" shooter, so that might end up being a mismatch on defense. So those are my predictions, and if you disagree with any of them, then say why in the comment section.